Hey, what is up, guys? JPland here, and welcome back to the JPland podcast. It has definitely been a minute since the last time we've been on this podcast, and today we have a lot of things to talk about. Now, for one, I've been covering both Universal and Disney on my YouTube channel if you're watching from Spotify. Might as well just start off with Universal from this point forward. So, Universal has already started construction on Halloween Horror Nights. I think they started within the middle of February, and both mazes, or we already have two mazes being constructed right now, and both mazes are in their first phase of construction, so it's really hard to tell what's going to be going where. So we only have one maze announced so far, and that's going to be the Chucky maze. And from that point forward, we're just kind of empty-handed. There's not too much speculation. I think I can just talk about what I want the event to have this year. Obviously, we'll be getting another Universal Monsters maze. It's been like that for the past few years, since 2018, I believe. Oh, okay, look at that. Someone sent me the speculation map. And oh wow, okay, so this year is very different. I was expecting something completely different. I wanted The Weeknd again, and I wanted a Terrifier maze because I loved that movie last year. But here's the speculation map so far. We have the Horrors of Blumhouse once again returning with Megan and Insidious. Very interesting combo. Megan specifically because we already have Chucky. That's another doll. We also have The Last of Us, which is going to be in the Walking Dead location. It would make sense. Walking Dead was a zombie maze, and then I think it got replaced by Universal Horror Hotel. And Last of Us, I haven't seen the show, but I think there's zombies in there, so it would make sense to be in the Walking Dead location. I also thought at one point that they'll have an Evil Dead maze in there. The trailer for Evil Dead Rise just came out, and it looks basically like Universal Horror Hotel. There's one scene in the trailer. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's just one scene in the trailer that looks exactly like the very first scene in the Evil Dead Rise trailer. Let's see, what else do we have? We have Universal Monsters in Paris, and that'll be in Parisian Courtyard. I just noticed... I think that'll be the third Universal Monsters maze in Parisian Courtyard. We had the first Universal Monsters maze in 2018, then Bride of Frankenstein in 2021. And if we... Oh, yeah, we also... No, that was La Llorona, never mind. And if we have Universal Monsters in Paris, that'll be the third Universal Monsters maze in Parisian Courtyard. I mean, it makes sense. We have another original maze. Oh, wait, hold on. Is this an original maze? Let me double check. I think it's an anime. It looks like an anime maze. What is this? I don't know what this is. Demon Slayer? Is that Demon Slayer? Yeah, it looks like Demon Slayer. It's not written in English, so I had to check back at my notes because someone talked about Demon Slayer last year. Maybe this is true. I don't know. Also, we have Nightingale's Blood Prey, which I think it's an original from Florida, or Florida's event. We have The Exorcist returning for the third time at one of the lower lot tents. Very interesting. Not really a fan of that. Unless they bring back The Exorcist in a new way, like new technology, no black walls, heavier theming. That'd be cool. It looks like we're getting another original clown maze. That'd be cool if we get a Hollywood Harry styled maze. Hollywood Harry is basically our icon. In Florida, it's Jack the Clown, but it would be really cool to have a Hollywood Harry maze. I just noticed I kept saying maze, or I keep saying maze. And they're called houses now. It's a bad habit. We also have the Chucky maze. Oh, I like how I just said that and I go back to saying maze. We have the Chucky house, and that's rumored to be in the Curious George tent number 2. So I think that's where Scarecrow was last year. It looks like we'll be getting an original music maze house. Sorry. And then the Terror Tram will be based on celebrities. Very cool. This is a very interesting lineup. I'm personally not the biggest fan on this. I would replace Demon Slayer because I've never seen it. I would replace the Rock and Roll. It looks like a Rock and Roll original maze house. I keep doing it. Yeah, I would replace Demon Slayer and the Rock and Roll house. I don't listen to rock and roll. Maybe there's a lot of people that do, but I feel like I listen to a lot of like pop culture music, like music that everyone listens to, and The Weeknd was perfect as a music maze. Same with, I think Billie Eilish was rumored to come at one point. That would have been perfect for a haunted house. But something in the rock and roll niche, I don't know how I feel about it. I personally wouldn't be a fan. And I feel like them testing out an anime might be their way of testing the waters. Like, I don't know if it'll be the biggest success. Personally, none of my... I don't think I know anyone that watches anime. Maybe some of you guys do. Let me know in the comments if you're watching through YouTube. But yeah, I would replace these two. Exorcist, I'm kind of okay with. Like, it's still very popular. People, the GP enjoy it. I personally don't enjoy it, but the GP enjoy the maze. And then Terror Tram celebrities, I don't know what that means. Universal Monsters, that's fine with me. Last of Us could be fine. Like, I feel like that's pretty big with the general public. Megan, Insidious, yeah, that's all right. Nightingales as an original, that's all right. Clown original, that's all right. Yeah, sure. I think that's okay. Sure. I want to go back to last year's speculation map. It should be somewhere around here. I don't think I have it. Okay, I found it. So, I found the speculation map from last year, and I'm going to try to see if it was accurate. Okay, so last year, they had the Mummy, only the Mummy on the speculation map. So, no Wolfman, just the Mummy. I mean, I guess that was pretty accurate. Oh, look at this. Evil Dead was speculated. Whoa, okay. So, I feel like that was speculated because the movie was supposed to come out sometime last year, and then it got delayed, and it's coming out this year, I think in April. So maybe it's still a little early. So speculation maps change always. So maybe Evil Dead is coming. Look at that. Scarecrow was on it. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Nope was supposed to be its own maze. La Llorona. Terror Tram. So it's kind of accurate. So maybe this speculation map is accurate. I'm not too sure. We can go and look at 2021 speculation map as well. This one had Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which I think it was true because I remember covering Universal and seeing some Silver Shamrock theming outside of the Halloween maze. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, there we go. But I think it got canceled somehow. So I guess that was accurate at one point. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was speculated. Walking Dead was speculated. Haunting of Hill House. Bride of Frankenstein. Pandora's Box again. And Beetlejuice. So, yeah, this was kind of accurate. Halloween 3 was actually Halloween 4 again. And then Beetlejuice was on it. And I think that was... Instead of Beetlejuice, it was Exorcist, and I think everything else was pretty accurate. They had Texas Chainsaw, which I think that was one of the best years for Texas Chainsaw. They did a fantastic job, even through COVID. So the speculation map that we have right now as of March of 2023 could be spot on, or it could be way off. I don't know. We do have an announcement coming up, hopefully within the next week or two, because Horror Nights is teasing us with an announcement. It's teasing season. And I think usually we get our first announcement in April, but it's March. I'll take an announcement in March. And actually, now that I think about it, our very first announcement was last October. So at this point, it feels like Horror Nights is just 24/7 every single day. Since we are on the topic of Universal, I think it's fair to mention that Super Nintendo World is officially open. They didn't do the best job promoting the land, I would say. Like, I don't want to put this in a negative way, but I feel like they could have advertised the land in a better way. My last trip to Universal, I was listening to a family behind me in line, and they were talking about Nintendo and how they didn't even know it was going to be there during their visit. So maybe it's just them, maybe it's just me, but they could have definitely taken advantage of the Super Bowl, which was a few weeks before the grand opening of Super Nintendo World. Also, on top of it, the theme park has been selling out. I think they limited capacity to allow everyone to be able to experience Super Nintendo World because the land is so small that they need to have a reservation system to allow or just to accommodate everyone into the land. Obviously, if you are visiting on a day that isn't busy, you could just walk in. I also feel like Universal is investing a lot more money into their theme parks now. JP, why do you say that? Well, it's because this morning Universal has announced that Universal Parks and Resort are going to be changing to Universal Destinations and Experiences. Obviously, they are expanding the amount of theme parks they have, with one being in Vegas and another in Texas. But I also have a feeling in my body that Universal Studios Hollywood will be expanding their theme park. I'm not sure exactly how this is possible. Maybe they can tear down a bunch of sound stages, or they can buy out the golf course. Everyone's been talking about that. Or they can even purchase new land elsewhere. Maybe not in Hollywood, but in Valencia possibly. Because I feel like there's a lot of land in Valencia. Sure, it's hot, but there's a lot of land just sitting there that they could just easily purchase. I don't know, but I feel like Universal will be expanding here in Hollywood. Now, I feel like this is an appropriate time to switch the topic to Disney. Theme parks and becoming a travel destination is becoming a larger competitive market. And I feel like maybe Universal heard something about Disneyland Forward, which is Disneyland's extensive expansion plan, that they want to compete with Disney from this point forward. Disneyland just announced that they will be receiving an Avatar experience that won't be necessarily a ride. I don't know. They were very vague about how they explained this experience. They said it'll be just as good as Pandora, maybe even better. But they haven't talked about what it's going to be specifically. I feel like we have some information coming down the line, but for now, that's all we could really talk about. We also have a huge Toontown refurbishment. Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin is opening. They've been pretty quiet about Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, but I have a feeling that they added some effects. They probably brightened up the queue. Of course, more inclusion. And that's really all I got for you on Toontown. We also have Splash Mountain changing soon, and as of the time of this recording, still no opening date. I feel like Disneyland has something new every single day, so I have to try to pump out these podcasts or videos so fast. Like yesterday, I went to Disneyland to film an update, and I talked about the Avatar experience, and then today, they announced that the Avatar experience will be just as good as Pandora, and I feel like they were going to announce more, but they didn't. But basically, if I didn't upload that Disneyland update today, and let's say they announced something tomorrow, it would have just been completely out of date, and that update would have just been a waste of time to just make. I don't know. Which is good, I guess. There's a lot to talk about with Disney, so I'm going to try to pump out this podcast today. But yeah, Splash Mountain is still open over here on the West Coast, which is interesting. Over on the East Coast, they're hard at work. They're getting that ride open as soon as possible. They even announced that it's going to be opening later in 2024. But over here in California, still no closing date and still no opening date. We just know 2024. But they have started some work in relation to Princess and the Frog. Right now, they just closed the French market to start construction on Tiana's Palace. There's already scaffolding up, there's already scrim up, and they're already hard at work. I honestly don't think this is going to take them that long to build, so I think we'll see it open within the next 2 to 3 months, roughly. And I think that'll wrap up today's podcast here in the JPland studio. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. I'm JP and How They Say in the Movies. That is a wrap. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Life cannot be contained. Life breaks free. Life finds a way.